Hello friends, in today's video lecture we will discuss about the two cloud file system, that is the Google file system GFS and Hadoop distributed file system HDFS. So let's start with the cloud file system. Cloud computing is a special distributed computing paradigm. It differ from traditional ones in that number 1, it is massively scalable. Number 2, it can be encapsulated as an abstract entity that delivers different levels of services to customer outside the cloud. Number 3, it is driven by economics of scale. And the number 4, the services can be dynamically configured via virtualization or other approaches and delivered demand. Google file system is a proprietary distributed file system developed by Google and specially designed to provide efficient, reliable access to data using a large clusters of commodity servers. Here, files are divided into chunks of 64 megabytes and are usually append to or read and only extremely reliable overwritten or shrunk. Compared with traditional file system, GPS is designed and optimized to run and data center to provide extremely high data throughputs. Inspired by GPS, the open source Hadoop distributed file system HDFS stores large files across multiple machines. It achieves reliable by replicating the data across multiple servers. Similarly to GPS, data is stored in a multiple geo drivers nodes. The file system is built from a cluster and data nodes, each of which server blocks of data over the network using block protocol specified to HDFS. So let's start with first Google file system. Google file system is a scalable distributed file system DFS created by Google and developed to accommodate Google's expanding data processing requirements. GFS provides fault tolerance, reliability, scalability, availability, and the performance to large network and connected nodes. GFS is made up of several storage system built from low-cost commodity hardware component. It is optimized to accommodate Google's different data use and storage needs, such as each search engine which generates huge amount of data that must be stored. Google file system capitalize on the strength of off-the-shelf server while minimizing hardware weaknesses. Next is architecture. The GFS cluster consists of single master and multiple chunk servers, and it is accessed by multiple clients as shown in the figure. Files in GFS are divided into the chunks. Chunk server stroke chunks on the local disk as a Linux file and read or write chunk data specified by chunk handle and byte range. Each chunk is also replicated on multiple chunk servers. This avoids any loss of data if and when the hardware fails. The default number of replicas are 3. The master maintains all file system metadata, which includes the namespace access control information, the mapping from file to chunk and current location of the chunks. The client communicate with the master and the chunk server. The client do not cache the file data and the file are huge. It also avoids cache coherence issue. Chunk server do not cache any data because the chunks are stored as a local files. In short, there is a single master in a whole cluster which stored metadata. Other nodes acts as the chunk server for storing data. The file system namespace and locking facilities are managed by masters. The master periodically communicate with the chunk server to collect management information and gives instruction to chunk server to do work such as load balancing or fail recovery. With a single master, many complicated distributed algorithms can be avoided and the design of the system can be simplified. In a single GFS, master should be the performance bottleneck and single point of failure. Google uses shadow master to replicate all the data on the master, and the design guarantees that all data operations are transferred between the master and the client, and they can be cached to future use. With the current qualities of commodity server, the single master can handle cluster more than 1000 nodes. Now we will discuss the futures one by one. Futures of the Google file systems are as follows. First one, GFS was designed for a high tolerance, fault tolerance. Number two, master and chunk servers can be restarted in a few seconds and with such as a fast recovery capabilities. The window of time in which data is unavailable can be greatly reduced. Next, each chunk is replicated at least 3 places and can tolerate at least 2 data crashes for a single chunk of data. Number 4, the shadow master handle the failure of the GFS master. Number 5, for data integrity, GFS makes checksum on every 64 KB block in each chunk. Number 6, GFS can achieve the goal of high availability, high performance and implementation. Next, it demonstrates how to support a large scale processing workloads on commodity hardware designed to tolerance frequent component failure, optimized for a huge files that are mostly append and read. These are the features of GFS, Google File System. Now we discuss the HDFS. HDFS is nothing but the Hadoop Distributed File System. Hadoop File System was developed using distributed file system design. It run on accommodating hardware. Unlike other distributed system, HDFS is highly fault tolerant and designed using low cost hardware. HDFS hold the large amount of data and provide easier access. To store such a huge data, the files are stored across multiple machines. These files are stored in redundant fashion to recover the system from possible data losses in case of failure. HDFS also makes applications available to parallel processing. Right? Okay, let's start with the architecture. The given diagram is the architecture of Hadoop file system HDFS. HDFS follows the master slave architecture and it has the following elements. First one, name node. The name node is the commodity hardware that contains the GNU/Linux operating system, and the name node software. It is a software that can be run on commodity hardware. The system having the name node acts as the master server and it does the following task. First one, manages the file system namespace. Number 2, regulate client access to file. And number 3, it also executes file system operation such as renaming, closing and opening file and directories. Number 2 is the data node. Data node is a commodity hardware having the Linux and the GNU operating system and data node software. For every node in a cluster, there will be a data node. This data node manages the data storage of their system. First one, data node perform read-write operation on the file system as per the client request. Number 2, they also perform operations such as block creation, deletion and replication according to the instructions of the name node. After that, block generally the user data is stored in the files of HDFS. The file in a file system will be divided into one or more segments and or stored in a individual data nodes. These file segments are called as block. Right? Means all the information stored in the block. In other words, the minimum amount of data that HDFS can read or write is called a block. The default block size is 64 MB, but it can be increased as per the need of change in HDFS configuration. This is all about the architecture. Now, features. Following are the features of HDFS. It is suitable for the distributed storage and processing. Next, Hadoop provides a command interface to interact with HDFS. Next, the built-in server of name node and data node help user to easily check the status of cluster. Next one, streaming access to the file system data. And the last one is the HDFS provides file permissions and authentication. Now, the goals of the HDFS system. First one, fault detection and recovery. Second one is the huge data sets, and third one is the hardware at data. First one, fault detection and recovery. Since HDFS includes a large number of commodity hardware, failure of component is frequent. Therefore, HDFS should have mechanism for quick and automatic fault detection and the recovery. Second one is the huge data sets. HDFS should have hundreds of nodes per cluster to manage the applications having huge data sets. And the last one is the hardware at data. A requested task can be done efficiently when the computation takes place near the data, especially where huge data sets are involved. It reduces the network traffic and increase the throughputs. These are the goals of HDFS. Now, the comparison between the GFS and the HDFS having some points. We will discuss these points one by one. First one is the scalability. Both HDFS and GFS are considered as cluster-based architecture. Each file system runs over machine built from commodity hardware. Each cluster may consist of thousands of nodes with a huge data size storage. Number 2 is the implementation. Since JFS is a proprietary file system and exclusive to Google only, it cannot be used by any other company. In the other part, HDFS based on Apache Hadoop open source project can be deployed and used by any company willing to manage and process the big data. Number 3, file serving. In GFS, files are divided into units called chunk of fixed size. Chunk size is 64 MB and can be stored on a different nodes in cluster for load balancing and performance needs. In Hadoop, HDFS file system divides the file into units called as a block of 128 MB in size. Block size can be adjustable based on the size of data. Next, internal communication. Communication between chunks and cluster within the GFS is made through TCP connections. For data transfer, pipelining is used for TCP connection. The same method is in HDFS, but remote procedure call RPC are used to conduct external communication between cluster and block. Next one is the cache management. In GFS, cache metadata are saved in client memory. Chunk server does not need cache file data. Linux system running on the chunk server cache frequently access data in a memory. The HDFS has distributed cache. Distributed cache is a facility provided by the MapReduce to distribute application specific large read-only files efficiently. It also caches files such as a text archives like a zip, tar, tgz and tr.gz and jar needed by applications. Distributed cache file can be private or public that determine how they can be shared on the slave node. Private distributed cache files are cached in a local directory private to the user whose jobs need this file, and the public distributed cache files are cached in a global directory, and the file access is set up in such a way that they are publicly visible to all users. Next, file protections and permission. Google partner mentions in the security analysis research that GFS splits file up and store it in multiple pieces on multiple machines. File names have random names and are not human readable. File are obstacles to algorithm that change constantly. The HDFS implements POSIX like mode permission for files and directories. All files and directories are associated with an owner and a group with the separate permission for users who are owner, for users that are member for the group, and for all the users. Next, replication strategy. The GFS has two replicas, primary replicas and the secondary replicas. The primary replica is the data chunk that a chunk server sends to a client. Secondary replicas serve as backup on other chunk server. User can specify the number of replicas to be maintained, but the HDFS has an automatic replication rack based system. By default, two replicas of each block are stored by different data nodes in the same rack, and the third copy is stored on the data node on a different rack. Next, file namespace. In GFS, files are organized hierarchically in directories and identified by path name. The GFS is exclusively for Google only, but the HDFS supports a traditional hierarchical file organization. Users or application can create directories to store file inside. The HDFS also supports third-party file system such as a Cloud Store and Amazon Simple Storage Service S3, Amazon S3. File system, next is the file system database. In this section, highlight one core component in the architecture of GFS and Hadoop, the database engine. GFS has Bigtable database. Bigtable is a proprietary database developed by Google using C++. Based on Bigtable study white papers, Apache developed its own database called as HBase. This Bigtable and the HBase we will discuss in the next lecture. In Hadoop, right? Apache developed its own database called as HBase in Hadoop open source project. The HBase is built with Java language. The major common features between Bigtable and database is big data. Big data is ability to handle a big amount of data in a scalable manner. Non-SQL, non-relational database and not SQL based. The HBase is a column-oriented database and Bigtable is a three-dimensional mapping database. It maps row key, column key and timestamp into the arbitrary byte array, hence the naming. Next one is the atomicity. They both have atomic transaction in read, write and update operations. Next is the access control. Bigtable enforce access control on column family level with a large aspect like authentication, authorization and audit. This feature was not enabled in HBase until May 2014. Next is the batch writes. Batch writes and batch table operations plus row filtering when scanning rows. And the last one is the block caching. Bigtable and HBase provides block cache when reading block from storage file and files are cached extremely. These are the comparison points between the GFS and HDFS. Last is the summary. In this video lecture, we will discuss the GFS and HDFS. Here we discuss in a GFS architecture as well as the features of Google file system. In HDFS, that is the Hadoop distributed file system, we discuss architecture, features and the goals of HDFS. And lastly, we discuss the comparison between the GFS and HDFS using the points like scalability, implementation, file serving, internal communication, cache management, file protection and the permissions, replication strategies, file namespace, file system database, big data, NoSQL, atomicity, access control, batch writes and block cache. All these are points discussed in this video lecture. So, thank you students for watching this video. Thank you so much.